Okay, so we're going to start our talk on fossil fuels. So it says here, in Alberta, millions of years ago, the temperatures would have been warmer than they are now. They would have been lush, green vegetation and an abundance of life. So when organisms died, their remains would have accumulated in the bottom of swamps, and then over millions of years, these swamps would have been buried. So as you can see, there's a great little depiction where these animals died in the peat, okay, and then the heat and the pressure and over time is going to change it into coal. So solar energy captured by the ancient plants and animals has then been transformed and is still available for our use as fossil fuels. So this energy, again, it doesn't disappear, it is just transformed into a different form. So today our society is highly dependent on fossil fuels, such as gasoline, diesel, coal, and plastics. Plastics come from a byproduct of fossil fuels. So what are fossil fuels? Crude oil and natural gas and coal are commonly used fossil fuels. Like the fossils of dinosaurs, fossil fuels were once living organisms. So to go back here to the picture, it says, instead of being converted into fossils, the organic material from these plants and animals built up at the bottom of swamps, lakes, or oceans, and then they were covered by many layers of sediment. The layers of sediment were often several kilometers thick, and heat and pressure changed the decaying organic matter into coal, oil, and natural gas. So because they are formed from plants and animals that lived long ago, we call them fossil fuels. So that's where the name comes from, okay? So rather than being turned into a fossil as we imagine, like the skeleton of a dinosaur or the imprint in a rock, they are now these fuels that we use. So the use of coal, oil, and natural gas. So coal has been used as a fuel for at least 3,000 years. It is abundant in most parts of the world, but it has only been used a little until the invention of the steam engine. For more than 100 years, the steam engines were used to power factories and to move people and goods. So before that, it was used as a fuel, but not as heavily as it was after the invention of the steam engine. So coal was and is popular because it is cheap, easy to mine and transport, and that is why it's provided almost all of the thermal energy for the steam engines that made our country grow, and why it is popular today still as an energy source. So oil and gas have not been used for such a long period of time as coal. Ancient internal fires burning in Iraq were reported to travelers 1,900 years ago. These were probably the result of natural gas escaping from the cracks in the ground and being ignited by the lightning. So that picture there is something that somebody would have seen as an eternal fire. Okay. So natural gas is difficult and dangerous to control and transport. That is why its potential energy has only been used in recent years. So that particular car there, it says that it is powered by natural gas. Crude oil, also called petroleum, is found as a liquid. Crude oil is extracted by drilling a hole into the Earth's crust. In some cases, the oil is under pressure and will come to the surface out of the hole on its own. In other locations, it has needed to be pumped to the surface. So that particular picture there is what is called an oil gusher. And once they drilled the hole through, the oil just came squirting out because it is under such pressure. That is the end of this particular section of notes, and yeah, thanks for listening.